रोमा देवनाथ, गुड मॉर्निंग, कैसे हैं आप? एक्चुअली आई डिडंट स्लीप, मैं सोया ही नहीं, और उसका मैं रीज़न बताता हूँ क्यों। इट्स वीकेंड, वीकेंड आ रहा है और फ्राइडे था आज, तो आई गॉट अ चांस टू वॉच अ मूवी. आई वेंट फॉर अ मूवी नोन एज शमशेरा. आई थिंक शमशेरा नाम की कोई मूवी थी, तो मैं वो देखने चला गया. और सी, दिस इज माई न्यू
The
डिवाइस.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
दिस इज माई न्यू डिवाइस.
Aux input mode.
So I went to watch some Shera, and I'll share my reviews with you. My direct suggestion is don't watch some Shera. It's a waste of money. मुझे लग रहा है मैं 2-2.5 घंटे पढ़ लेता तो ज़्यादा ठीक था, इंस्टाग्राम पे टाइम पास कर लेता तो ज़्यादा ठीक था. इट्स कंप्लीट वेस्ट ऑफ मनी. नो कनेक्शन, नो स्टोरी, नो बैकग्राउंड सेटिंग, no justification with the theme at all. Like, it's a 3 a.m. session. I know बच्चे आने वाले हैं पढ़ाई के लिए. We're gonna talk about Greek literature, but a true teacher is the one who is not bound to syllabus, जो इधर उधर की भी थोड़ी बहुत बात कर सके. तो 10 कुछ दिन मतलब कुछ देर पहले I have returned. We had a family with us, so I dropped them first, and then थोड़ा सा गाड़ी ज़्यादा तेज चला के I've come back. मैं आया हूँ यहाँ पे. इनफैक्ट देवर आस्किंग मी कि सर आपका 3 बजे वाला सेशन आप लेट हो जाओगे, फिर कैसे करोगे? आई वॉज लाइक, मैं क्लास की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आई कैन गो लाइव इन कार ऑल्सो. मैं कार में भी लाइव कर सकता हूँ. सो तब तक जब तक सभी लोग आ जाते हैं, हम लोग आज बात करेंगे ग्रीक लिटरेचर पे. वी गोना टॉक अबाउट ग्रीक लिटरेचर, ग्रीक क्वेश्चंस, and some other things related to literature, which is classical literature, classical, pseudo classical Greeks. So directly indirectly हम Greeks के बारे में बात करेंगे, and I'll try my best कि मैं आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा important information दे सकूँ. Good morning. I know face सबको पानी वानी मार के धो के आना पड़ रहा है. So somewhere you are facing troubles. संतोष का JRF हो गया है. संतोष PhD कर रहे हैं. दैट्स रियली ग्रेट संतोष, बहुत बढ़िया. आई थिंक दिस AC इज नॉट वर्किंग. When I was preparing net, I didn't have any cooler. Now I can't live without AC. आशीष विमल, कैसे हो, क्या हाल है? So till the time people come and join us, let's go for, हम वार्म अप सेशन कर लेते हैं तब तक. एक स्टूडेंट है स्वाति. स्वाति ने लिखा है, आप रोज क्लास क्यों नहीं लेते? स्वाति, अगर आपने मेरी कोई भी क्लास ठीक से देखी है, तो आई हैव टोल्ड यू 3 AM सेशन इज नॉट स्पेशली फॉर दोज हु हैव वर्क इन द डे. So I am not an independent person that I take class 3 AM, that I sleep for the day. Sometimes I don't sleep at all. I have to go to the office. So when the workload is really hectic and something is happening, I'm not able to take. It's normal. My mother was hospitalized. I couldn't take classes. So I ask you to not to take 3 AM classes if you're working. But same is applied to me also. Na? I am also working. My 3 AM is a motivation for you. So don't wait that if Vineet Pandey is waking up at 3, then only I will study. अपना पढ़ते रहो. There are students who wake up by 3 AM and text me a good morning. They don't wait for me. मेरा wait मत करो. Mine is a motivation. हफ्ते में 3 बार भी आऊँ तो just to motivate you. ऐसे नहीं होने कि अरे सर मैं तो JRF कर लेता, सर उठे नहीं. सर नहीं उठते इसलिए मैं JRF नहीं कर रहा. आप लोग उठते रहो भाई अपनी तरफ से. It's to put you in habit. Okay, coaches don't play, coaches guide. I have a question for all of you. Let's see who answers. Is there an Indian way of thinking? A famous work of 1990. Is there an Indian way of thinking 1990? Who has written this famous work? Question of net exam. Is there an Indian way of thinking? Come on. सुष्मिता पांडे, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. Who wrote a preface to 20-volume suicide note? A 20-volume preface to suicide note. किसने लिखा था? A 20-volume preface to suicide note. No, not Kamala Das. A 20-volume preface to a suicide note. Come on. Amiri Baraka. Johnny Chauhan. बहुत बढ़िया आंसर. Very good. Who has famously written a book called Therese Requiem? It's a classical work. Therese Requiem. निकी का क्वेश्चन है कि टाइम कम है, मैं क्या करूं? निकी, टाइम सभी के लिए कम है, सभी के लिए. डोंट वेट. इमाइल जोला, बहुत बढ़िया वर्क है. Now the questions are from Greek literature, as our topic of today is related to Greek literature, complete Greek literature. I'll ask you certain questions. I'll tell you what to read. First of all, take pen, paper, and make sure you have completed these books. Aristophanes, नाम लिख लो. All the new students जिनको नहीं पता वो लिख लो नाम. Aristophanes, crash course के जो students हैं. Aristophanes, Aristophanes. Aristophanes. Frogs, clouds, wasp. 3 कहानियाँ, तीनों समरी पढ़नी है. Frogs, clouds, wasp. 3 stories. Read the summary of these 3 stories. Aristophanes had a habit of making fun of Euripides. Aristophanes अपने वर्क्स में यूरिपिडीज का मजाक उड़ाता था. तो 3 वर्क्स हैं, क्लाउड्स, वास्प एंड फ्रॉग्स. और भी हैं, बर्ड्स हैं, वॉल्स हैं, बट क्लाउड्स, फ्रॉग्स एंड वास्प तीनों मस्ट रीड हैं. तीनों की समरी पढ़ लो. दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Second work that you have to do is Euripides' famous work Medea. Medea, the characters Glauce, character Jason, character Priam, these characters are very very important, and how Medea, the barbaric queen, kills her own kids to take revenge from her husband. That's very important. So Medea is also must read. Then there's the famous work Lysistrata. 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 That is also by Aristophanes. I may be confused. Just let me check once again. I'm not reading notes actually. I'm reading my memory. Lysistrata is by Aristophanes or Euripides? Let me just check. Sometimes हमारी भी बत्ती गुल हो जाती है. Who will confirm it? Come on. तब तक आप भी अपना दिमाग लगाओ. Lysistrata is by whom? Is it by Euripides or Aristophanes? मेरे अकॉर्डिंग Aristophanes है. Aristophanes. Thank God. Aristophanes. For a moment, पूरी रात सोया नहीं तो for a moment I got doubted. But remember this thing, the way I checked my doubt, you also have to check your doubt. Whenever you are recalling something, कुछ याद करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो और याद नहीं आ रहा है, so don't forget that. उसको सीधा वहाँ से चेक करो. No, don't watch YouTube videos for summary. Summary के लिए वीडियो नहीं देखना. If you watch it, you will forget it. Read it. The moment you read and interpret, double active होता है mind आपका. Read and interpret. Lysistrata is the first book, one of the classical work that deals with sex wars. इसको नोट करो. Lysistrata by Aristophanes. Lysistrata by Aristophanes. इसको नोट करो, ये पढ़ना है. Most important character Lysistrata herself, Calonice. When you read this, remember the reference of Peloponnesian War. Peloponnesian War. There is a war in the background. Then go for most important writer Sophocles. जानवी चौहान ने लाइन लिखी, Man think we are rascal, as indeed we are. बहुत बड़े. Then you read Sophocles. Sophocles, 2 works. वैसे एक काफी है. Just one is enough. No need to go for 2. but that is Oedipus the Rex. Oedipus the Rex. Oedipus, who marries his own mother, kills his own father without knowing. When he realizes that he has done a mistake, he has done a blunder, he punishes himself and becomes blind, which is called Oedipus complex. So Sophocles, Oedipus is very, very important. Then there are some other minor writers. You don't have to go for all, but then go for some Roman references. Find out Ovid's Metamorphosis and basic summary. लिख लो इसको भी याद करने के लिए. Ovid's Metamorphosis and basic summary. Boccaccio's Decameron on women and basic summary of these two. Seneca. Seneca wrote revenge tragedies. Find it out what are the works written by Seneca which inspired Kid. Then Plautus. Plautus, Pot of Gold. Summary is important. Pot of Gold. All of these works are very, very important. Then comes Homer and Virgil. No need to read any of them. Just remember that Homer wrote Iliad and Odyssey. Basic summary, you know it. Virgil's Aeneid, blank verse, basic summary. Along with these things, Dante's Divine Comedy. See, these are the Greek classical writers or the Roman classical writers. So make sure you finish all these things. Now I have some sample questions which have been asked in previous years NET and SET exams. The question is, what does Chersias want Agamemnon to do? The warrior Chersias, who dies in the battle, requests Agamemnon to build his statue. बोलता है मेरा स्टैचू बनवा देना. ठीक है. या फिर एक चीज और बोलता है वो, मतलब पहले ही starts with statue, but then he says that I have more conditions. उनमें से एक होता है return my daughter. रिक्वेस्ट करता है. पहले तो he goes for honor, but then he realizes कि daughter is more important for that honor. इसमें से choose करना है. Go for it. What do you mean by Achilles heel? Achilles heel का मतलब क्या है? Weak point. Somebody's weak point. It is said that when Achilles the demigod was born, his mother took him to the sacred river and took him for the dip. So she held the baby from the heel and dipped the baby in the water. So that heel which was covered by her fingers, it couldn't get the water, the holy water. So only that heel was the weakest point. So in the Battle of Troy, it is said that a poisonous arrow targeted his heel and there he died. So if you have a weakness, you can say that sleeping is my Achilles heel, or postponing is my Achilles heel. You know, heel AD. Name the god of gods. All the Apollo and other gods, Bacchus, Cupid, who is called the gods of these gods? Zeus. ये याद रखना. Who has famously taken the reference of Venus and Adonis? The name of the goddess is Aphrodite. Aphrodite is Venus. What is the name of the lover of Helena who runs away with Helena? Paris. Who leads the army of Trojans against Agamemnon's army? Hector. What was the name of Helen's husband? What was the name of Helen's husband? हेलन के हस्बैंड का नाम क्या था? मेनिलियस. बहुत बढ़िया. Then there is a reference, Oedipus complex has been applied in a modern novel. ये easy, I'm sure आप बता दोगे. Who is the reason behind killing of Glaucus? Who kills gloss? Media. काफी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस हैं. अगेन क्वेश्चन है, पेलोपोनेशियन वॉर इज द बेस ऑफ Lysistrata. Remember this thing, these Greek writers are actually limited writers. They don't have a lot of references, so whatever I have suggested, read them. इनको finish कर देना, and to get this PDF, drop us a WhatsApp. आपको मेरे लिंक में नंबर मिल जाएगा. इसको as it is रट्टा मार देना, just mug up. Along with these things, also go for some Italian writers. Italian writers check कर लेना. Primarily you have to see Petrarch, Boccaccio and Dante. Petrarch, his love sonnets dedicated to Laura. Boccaccio on Decameron and on women and its connection to Canterbury Tales. And Dante's Divine Comedy. Divine Comedy divided in 3 parts. Inferno, Paradiso, Purgatorio. My doctor has asked me not to speak. Pre-COVID, post-COVID conditions. These post-COVID conditions have left the throat troubled. Some tough questions. Name the writer who started the magazine called Universal Negro. Name the writer who started the magazine called Universal Negro. Tough question and note kar lo. Marcus Garvey. The name of the writer is Marcus Garvey. Name the famous writer of the book Their Eyes Were Watching Gods. इसको नोट कर लो. I'm sure ये आपको आता होगा. Name the writer who has coined the term theater of cruelty. If you don't know Antonin Artaud, it means you have to prepare again. Check करते जाओ ये सारी चीजें. The theory of equal signs, equal understandings or equal value called equivalence. It is a Russian theory. The Russian theory was coined by equivalence. Your time starts now. There is a famous line, does the realization of absurd require suicide? No, it requires revolt. This is a famous line by. Again, find it out. इसका अभी आंसर नहीं दूंगा, मेरे सामने है, but I'm not giving. Find it out. Another famous line, the struggle itself is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus is happy. Whose lines are these? One must imagine Sisyphus is happy. Whose lines are these? बहुत बढ़िया, very good. Who has written Naipaul's India and Mine? Question of NET exam. Naipaul's India. V.S. Naipaul. Naipaul's India and Mine. Naipaul's India and Mine. Very good. बहुत बढ़िया. इनके आंसर्स जानबूझ के नहीं दे रहा हूँ मैं. There are students, they are writing right answers. उनके आंसर सही हैं. But I want you to find it. Name the characters in the famous work The Caretaker by Harold Pinter. Harold Pinter के Caretaker के 3 important characters के नाम बताओ. Harold Pinter के 3 important caretakers. Sorry, 3 characters in Caretaker. हम गर्म पानी पी के बोलना पड़ रहा है. To 2 more names. Mick is here. और बताओ. देवास्मिता has given the finest answer. बहुत बड़े आंसर देवास्मिता, बहुत बड़े आंसर. कुछ रैंडम क्वेश्चन करते हैं आपसे, रैंडम क्वेश्चंस जो मुझे लगता है आपको आना चाहिए. Who coined the term lost generation? Who coined the term lost generation? Come on, fastest. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. Pindaric odes were reintroduced in English literature by which writer? If you remember my lectures, आपको मैंने ये भी कहा था, the spelling of Pindaric, C was converted, changed into K. Pindaric, C को K कर दिया गया था. सियूली, बहुत बढ़िया आंसर. अब्राहम कौले, बहुत सही आंसर. Name the famous writer in Restoration who wrote a vulgar work, Sodomy. याद करो मेरा लेक्चर, Vulgarity in Restoration Literature. I have written something. Sodomy किसने लिखा था? Waiting for the answers. Come on. King. What was the name of the king? What was the name of that king? Come on. बोलो शाबाश. Earl of Rochester. Name the literary device where we change the first initial letters of 2 words. First initial letters are exchanged. Just like Shelley and Keats, so we write them Kelly and Sheets. The first letter gets exchanged. Just like Shelley and Keats written as Kelly and Sheets. Come on, who will tell me? Waiting for this answer. देवास्मिता, बहुत बढ़िया. Spoonerism, बहुत बढ़िया. Who said poetry is inspired mathematics? Poetry is inspired mathematics. बहुत बढ़िया. Ezra Pound. Who coined the term poetic justice? Poetic justice किसका टर्म है? बहुत बढ़िया. Thomas Rhymer. Who coined the term epic theater? The term epic theater was coined by. No, not Breast. Come on. Erwin Piscator, that's my student. बहुत बढ़िया. Erwin Piscator. Who wrote the famous work Death of the Author? Death of the Author. चलो गाइज, थोड़ा सा वॉइस की वजह से डिसओरिएंटेड सा फील हो रहा है मुझे. आई एम स्पीकिंग, फिर बीच में आवाज इधर उधर हो रही है एंड इट्स डाइवर्टिंग माई माइंड, सो आई डोंट फील लाइक कंटिन्यूइंग इट. इट्स जस्ट दैट पढ़ाई कर लो, लिमिटेड टाइम है, 15 days, यही टाइम होगा पढ़ने का. ओके दिशा, थैंक यू फॉर फॉलोइंग अस. There are students from different subjects, they follow us. 3 बजे उठ के पढ़ाना important नहीं है. 3 बजे it's just that I wake up with my team to tell you that I am also with you. ठीक है. कोचेस बुढ़े हो जाते हैं. कोचेस से कंपेयर मत करो कि मेरा कोच नहीं उठ रहा तो मैं नहीं उठूंगा. जिसमें असली आग लगी होगी ना, if you actually have that fire inside, that person won't wait for me. And there are students, they takes me a good morning by 2:45, 2:50, and they don't wait for me whether I'm coming or not. the aim of this session is to fill that fire in you so that you can wake up. Imagine if I can just wake up on certain days to teach you, what would have been my motivation when I wanted to qualify. जब मेरी अपनी नीड थी, मजबूरी थी मेरी कि नहीं पढ़ूंगा तो बेरोजगार रहूंगा जिंदगी भर. So that's the first and biggest target. Janvi, I want to reply, but the problem is that the huge crowd that wants to talk to me. Some are there texting on Instagram, some on personal numbers, some call. I try. Even in office, every day 15 to 20 calls they are targeted and given to me. But not all the calls, all the messages can be taken in an easy way. Though I am not appearing in net this time, I had to fill the form, but last time I couldn't take any decision, I couldn't apply. I'm targeting next. इस बार नहीं कर पाया ना, क्योंकि जनवरी फरवरी तो 2 महीने डिस्टर्बेंस एवरीथिंग एंड ऑल. फिर उसके बाद जो टाइम था टू हैंडल द क्लासेस एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. Yes, Janvi, if you're from Delhi, you can visit me. Tomorrow I will be in the office by 10 to 12:30. 10 से 12:30 मैं ऑफिस में हूँ. If you want to come, आप आ जाइए. आप कॉल करके अपॉइंटमेंट भी ले सकते हैं, बट प्रेफर 10 to 12:30. इसके बीच में I'll be there. चलो guys, I'm not feeling sleepy. I'm just feeling irritated with this throat. And yes, I've taken the note of Tulsi, Mulethi and everything. थोड़ा free होऊंगा तो I'll get it. Nirja, please drop me a text. Text drop कर दो. चलो guys. Good. I am going to sleep, though I am not feeling sleepy. Don't sleep, okay? Drop me a good morning at 4, then 5, then 6. Don't sleep. Bye bye.